Good evening. It is Monday the 7th of November and it's about 11:30 at night. Bit of a late one today. Cheers. Abbott Sale. Right, what's this? Today's subject. Today's subject is about movie remakes. What's spurring this conversation? And it started about 4 months ago. Is that Fox Network announced that for Halloween, they were going to remake the Rocky Horror Show. I stood there going, oh brilliant, I love the Rocky Horror Show. Until they started announcing the cast. And then the dread started to install itself in my brain. First thing is, the main character, Frankenfurter. They decided to have, and I will use Joe's expression here with the face, a transgender woman. A man who's had to become a woman. A lot of people said, oh well yeah, but it's supposed to be transvestite. Let's get the songs right for start off. The song is I'm a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. He's a transvestite from the planet transsexual in the galaxy of Transylvania. And it does actually say that in the film later on. So the dread started. But I thought I will give it a go. It was shown on Sky Television. We are talking not just a train wreck, we are talking a multiple train wreck. We will pick up on a few of the points that were wrong with it. First off, the show, the original film, is told from the perspective of the narrator, the criminologist, who's telling this story about what happened to Brad and Janet on this fateful night. In the Fox's remake, about 2/3 of his dialogue was gone. Okay. Caused a bit of distraction because people not seeing the show or not seeing the original film probably think, well, we're doing a bit of jumping here where the narrator would tell the story. The acting was a bit wooden. I'm sorry, but the acting was a bit wooden. The singing wasn't exactly brilliant. But we come on to the main thing here. The sex. And I'm not just talking blatant pornography. That underlying sexual tension, the magnetism, the sexual innuendos was gone. I'll give you a classic example. There's a song in it called Touchy Touchy Touch Me. It's sung by Janet. She's just lost her virginity to Frankenfurter and her womanly libido is going into overdrive and she meets the creature, and as she's tending to his wounds she begins to and in the film the song goes, touch touch me, I want to feel dirty, feel me, the creature of the night. In other words, she wants the creature to dee her. In the original film, Tim Curry's film, Richard O'Brien, Patricia Quinn, Barry Bosworth, Susan Sarandon and stuff like that. You see her laid down, obviously the creature's on top of it, but the face is changed to the different characters because she's imagining being boinked by all the characters in the film. In the new version, I'm stood here, sat here going, how are they going to tackle this? What they had him doing is jumping up and down on the bed. You know how kids do? Bing, 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 on the bed. Bouncing up and down on the bed. And at that point I went, they have lost the plot. They have lost the plot. They have totally lost the plot here. It got to the end of the film, this Fox's reimagining of the Rocky Horror Show, that I thought, I've wasted 2 hours of my life here that I'm never going to get back. It was trash. It has been slammed by every person that's into theatre, every person that's seen the Rocky Horror Show film, every person that's even knows about it. They have said it was total trash. He didn't seem to know what it was. Didn't seem to know if it was going to be a remaking of the show, a tribute, a concert, or what. And it was just diabolical. First off, they announced it for Halloween. Brilliant night. Except the original film is rated at 15. The Fox's version was rated at age 12. So of course they had to calm stuff down, tame it down a bit for the younger audience. So this is where you lost a lot of this sex, to put it plainly. Let's put it this way. What's more outrageous? Seeing a man dressed in a corset, suspenders, fishnet tights, high heels, or a transsexual dressed like that. The whole aim of that character is to shock the audience. Seeing somebody that's been transformed into a woman by surgery does not exactly have the same shock value. So this is what started the conversation off. Sunday night, me and Joe, a couple of weeks ago, me and Joe were talking about it, and I'm telling him, and both of us laughing his heads off, you know, that they dumbed this down. And we got talking last night, because actually last night, I saved my soul by watching the original on Sunday morning. Watched the original Rocky Horror Show. I felt cleansed. All these bad vibes of the Rocky Horror Show remake were gone because I'd been cleansed by watching the original. And we got talking about remakes. You know, and when I say remakes, I don't mean reboots. There's some things that are being rebooted, like the Batman. I mean, you had the Adam West version of Batman. Then you had the Michael Keaton version, then the Ben Affleck version. Same with Superman, you had the Steve Reeves, and then you had the later one, 2014. I can't remember who was in that. Basically the same story, but it's told in a different way. Same with the Spider-Man. They were all classed as reboots. I'm talking actual remakes, which the Rocky Horror Show is. It isn't a reboot, it was supposed to be a remake. No, it wasn't. Trust. Don't watch it. It's coming out on DVD. Don't buy it. If somebody offers to show it you, run a mile. If anybody suggests you buying it on Facebook or anything, defriend them. If you want to watch it, buy the original. Buy the Tim Curry version. But we got talking about remakes. And one basically said to him that they're not about remaking some classic films. Not about remaking Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane. Now, I will be honest, I've watched Citizen Kane, and the experience of watching it, yeah, pretty boring film in some respects, but you watch it, good film, great. But then about remaking it. One of my favourite films, I've got quite a few favourite films, but this one from the era starred Paul Newman, Elizabeth Taylor and Bill Ives in a film called Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. If you ever get a chance to see it, watch it, it's brilliant. It's about family secrets, family deception, there's not erotic, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, one of the characters dead had a fixation on the married character, homoerotic. Let's say homoerotic. That's the wrong word I'm looking for. Got death, dying, betrayal, all set in this early 1950s era. Thing is, if that's remade, do you do it as a set piece, still set in 1950s, or do you bring it to today? In which case, some of the symbolisms in the film will not have the same sort of values as it does in today's society. I mean, unscrupulous business dealings, yeah, that would do, but the homosexual element to it wouldn't be as shocking, stuff like that. And also, it's like I said, how do you choose somebody to play the Brick character, the Paul Newman character? Joe did actually suggest Johnny Depp, but I don't think Johnny Depp. I did actually suggest probably Leonardo DiCaprio. He could do it, But who would play the Elizabeth Taylor part, the Maggie? The cat on a hot tin roof. She is the cat on the hot tin roof of the title. They're talking about remaking another one. They're remaking. We didn't actually talk this, but it was about To Kill a Mockingbird. Gregory Peck, black and white film, Deep South, racism, injustice. Depression era and stuff like that. That would have to be done as a period piece. But when they were talking about remaking this, they actually talked about calming down the language. Because there's African Americans in it, and the characters are referred by the N-word. Oh, it's too racist, we can't use that word. Hang on a minute, hang on a minute. That's the whole point of the film. That's one of the big main points of the film, racism and the injustice to the African American citizens at that time. This bloke being railroaded through this criminal proceedings, who's killed, and you know, the lynch mobs, you know, that's the whole point of the film. You cannot have To Kill a Mockingbird without the derogatory name calling. It just wouldn't work. It won't work. You could not bring that up to date. I mean, it wouldn't work. That's been one film that I have seen that has been remade, word for word. Well, no, there's been a few, but one's a specialised subject, which I'll come on to in a second, but one has been remade, 12 Angry Men. Fantastic cast in the original one. This claustrophobic jury room. And the way they did it, I think I explained this before, is in the scene, opening scene, the stage, well, not that big, but like I said, but as the film goes on, they actually bring the walls in, and I think they brought it about 1.5 foot that way and about 1 foot that way, so you get the claustrophobic feeling more in this period. They remade it. I'm sure Jack Lemmon was in the remake, I'm not sure, but he was actually quite good. The specialist subject is Shakespeare. Shakespeare has been done in modern dress, modern times, different periods. The most famous one is Romeo and Juliet. You got the Franco Zeffirelli version, and then you got the Baz Luhrmann version with Leonardo DiCaprio and set in modern times, and that actually worked. It worked because the way they updated it was so inventive. It worked. I've seen other updated versions on TV, admittedly on TV. I think it was Macbeth they did, where it was basically like a military dictatorship and it was like a coup type of thing, and that worked. So it can work. But some of the films are talking about remaking. You think these are classics. You cannot remake these. You cannot remake these. You cannot redo them. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof is a film of its time. Citizen Kane is a film of its time. Other films you can remake and remake and remake for generation, like the horror films and stuff like that, and stuff like that. Then of course, then like I said, you come on to the reboots such as the Star Trek, and then you got like the the Batman, Spider-Man. They work because it's a different version of the storytelling. Basically the same story, but it's not supposed to be a total 100% remake of an earlier version. But yeah, we had a great time discussing this and trying to decide which films would be remade. Leave some comments. What films do you think would be good to be remade, and who would star in them as the main characters? I think remaking films now and again are good if it's done correctly. I said the Rocky Horror Show. Oh, literally, it was done for TV, but it was filmed in film-wise. It didn't work. Other films I've seen reworked, such as the Shakespeare ones, that have worked. Citizen Kane, I don't think will work. And of course, then you come on to the TV series that have been remade. Again, some have worked and been cancelled. They remade The Bionic Woman and Knight Rider. And Knight Rider was more of a reboot, but Bionic Woman was basically a reworking. It worked, but it didn't get the popularity it should have done. So it was just a quick one, because Joe had sent me a message saying he was waiting for a video to be uploaded. So I thought, before I get on to the serious stuff, I'll just do a quick one about remaking of films. But like I says, the Rocky Horror Show, if you want to see the version, get this version with the true Frankenfurter on. And I've actually got the special edition version. It's got the 2 discs in. Tim Curry, Richard O'Brien that wrote the show, and that Susan Sarandon on the floor show at the end. 2 disc edition, one the film. Quite good this version, because the film's actually in 3 versions. Just the film, the film with the audience participation prompt and film with the actual audience participation on. Those who do not know what it is, I would suggest you find a local cinema that's been showing Rocky Horror Show for quite a few times. Best time to go would be midnight showing, because that's when you get the hardcore fans going in dress, and you will see what the audience participation is. You will be shocked, you will be amazed, and you will absolutely enjoy it. That's it for now. Speak again soon.